What's going on, everybody? It's John with ACTION-FLIX.com coming at you. It's Friday, July 11th. You know what that means? Superman Day. That's right. Superman. Well, it came out last night, came out Tuesday night. Whatever. It came out Tuesday, came out last night, came out today. Today's the official day that Superman is in theaters, and I loved it, and I'm going to take heat for it from a lot of people. But I don't give a all right, because I love the movie and I am a Superman fan who's been reading the comics since I was 4 or 5. Well, listen, I might not have been reading the comics at first. I might have been just looking at the pictures. But then as I started to read, I started reading the comic books. There you go. All right, so got some topics today. So again, this is the ACTION-FLIX Live. We're coming at you live. It is roughly around 2 o'clock Central Time in Panama City Beach. I'm a little early. I set the live stream to go live at 2, but I came on a little earlier just because I had everything set up. But I was like, and I got to go to work in a couple hours. So I was like, I might as well start now as to go as long as I can. Again, so here's what I'm going to do. Okay, so again, I know a lot of you guys, thank you for keeping up with me, for following me with all my restarts and redos. So here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen. Yes, I am going to do a weekly ACTION-FLIX Live. I may do 1 or 2. It just depends how much time I have that week, especially on the weeks I do not have my daughter. I'll definitely try to do more than 1. On the weeks I do have my daughter, well, then obviously I spend time with her and I try to do as little as possible with the website and the podcast because I only get her every other week. So what I'm going to do is the ACTION-FLIX Live. As you can see, this is episode 3. I'm numbering the ACTION-FLIX Live now. This is how the weekly intel is going to be presented. So it's not going to be a separate weekly intel. It's going to be the ACTION-FLIX Live, and it's going to be the weekly intel where I talk about all kinds of stuff that's happening from around action cinema and other genres, sci-fi, horror too, if it interests me. But so this is going to be the live stream, and I'm going to talk about all the news and good stuff that is coming up. I got some cool stuff to talk about today. I've already outlined a few things. So if you are jumping in and watching, let me know. Give me a shout out. Ask me some questions. Join the chat. The live chat is live. So make sure you ask all your questions, comments, concerns about especially what we're talking about at that specific time. So I'm going to do an ACTION-FLIX Live podcast every week live. So this is live, and it's going to be the weekly intel. Then the other ones, like I got Trailer Tactical that I do where I check out trailers, and I'm going to do one for Red Sonja. Boy, that trailer hit the other day, and whoa, was I excited. And then I showed it to my friend. He was like, hey, this might not suck. I'm like, okay, can you ever get excited? Please get excited. So it's like, I don't know. I guess I'm trying to be optimistic in my later years. It's been a crappy 2 years. And you know what? I'm just trying to be positive and just trying to be like, get hype. And if it doesn't turn out the way I wanted it, oh, well. But in the meantime, I'm going to be positive. And if you've seen the Red Sonja trailer, boy, oh boy, does that look. Matilda Lutz, holy cow. MJ Bassett directed it. It's been a long time coming. I'm a fan of the Brigitte Nielsen, Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day, tongue-in-cheek movie that was a total flop when it came out. But it's since become a cult classic. It was supposed to be kind of a sequel to Conan the Barbarian for Arnold. He's essentially kind of like Conan, and he was only supposed to be in it for a little bit, but then it turned into kind of like a more of a role, and he wasn't expecting that. But that's neither here nor there. That's a topic for another time. But I'm a fan of that when I saw it in the theaters when it came out all those years ago. I have it on DVD. But this one just looks like it just totally kicks that one in the ass. It's going to be a serious tone. There's going to be a lot of shit going on and a lot of blood flowing. So I'm going to do a trailer tactical for that one. So like my other episodes, I am going to be doing my G.I. Joe July. I'm getting it ready. So I'm going to do mostly those are going to be the recordings. All right. Is when I do the other things. I will do some of those live too. Just to see if I could get people to come on and talk and chat and stuff like that. But the ACTION-FLIX Live is going to be the weekly intel where I go over all kinds of good stuff and talk about action cinema, what's happening in action cinema. And of course, this is a big weekend. And I'm going to start not with Superman. No, I should start with Superman. Because it already broke a record. And it just came out officially. Well, it broke the record for the pre-sale for on Tuesday, broke that record, which was previously held by Fantastic Four. And then now it's broken another record, which we'll talk about. But first, I'm going to talk about this first. Yes, Guy Ritchie exits Roadhouse 2. Now, as you notice on my website, I did not do an article for this just because I haven't had time. So I said, you know what? I might as well just save this for the live stream and chat it up. So I'm going to bring this up on the screen now. There it is. There's Jake. There's Guy, who will no longer be, collaborating with each other. So here's the thing. And I say that a lot. I know. I got to stop saying here's the thing or, and stuff like that. But when I go live and I'm just rambling and talking, we always kick into our familiar words that we use. So just bear with me because you hear that a lot. So I watched the original Roadhouse again. I saw it in the theater, Patrick Swayze, and I loved it the first time I saw it. I think I saw it 3 times in the theater when it came out. And then, of course, the VHS I had, the DVD. Now I have the Vinegar Syndrome signature 4K, which Owen Frill from the Action-Elite, my buddy, props to him, mad shout out to Owen, got for me. And it's if you're a fan of Roadhouse, that's the one to have. It looks great. There's the special features, there's interviews and all kinds of good stuff. So needless to say, I am a super fan of the original Roadhouse. Then they announced that Jake Gyllenhaal was going to be making a Roadhouse reimagining. They didn't call it a reboot. They called it a reimagining. And Doug Liman is going to be directing. We're all like, why? Why make a movie or another? Like, why is it that Hollywood constantly has to make remakes and reboots, reimaginings, whatever the case may be, to all these beloved movies that we loved growing up in the 80s, the 90s, even the 70s? So, but then I saw the trailer. I was like, this looks pretty good. I was like, wow. I was impressed by the trailer. I was duped by the trailer. Yes, I was duped. I saw the initial trailer. I was like, boy, this looks pretty cool. And then he showed some of the fight between him and Conor McGregor. And I was like, this is looking good. Okay. Will it surpass my love of the original? No, but I might actually like or really, really like this one too. Then I saw it when it came out on Amazon Prime. Of course, we all know Doug Liman brought up a stink because he thought it was going to be released theatrically, and Amazon Prime was like, no, or Amazon MGM, I should say. And it just went to streaming. So needless to say, he's not back directing the sequel. And of course, there was going to be a sequel. We all knew it because once it came out on Prime, it broke all these records and everybody watched it. I have to watch it. I run their Action website, so I had to talk about it. I didn't hate it, but at the same time, there was no roadhousing in Roadhouse. That's what I told everybody. I was like the initial Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. And again, I interviewed Marshall Teague, the great Marshall Teague, still around, still kicking ass, for my podcast a few years ago. And we talked about this. And he said one of the best experiences of his life filming that movie. And he said everybody went to film a movie and a bar fight broke out. That's how he describes it. And that's how it is. You watch the original Roadhouse and it's a constant bar fight. It is constant fighting. Patrick Swayze kicking ass, Sam Elliott kicking ass, Marshall T kicking ass, everybody kicking ass. A lot of people getting punched in the face. And then, of course, the awesome ending. His fight with Marshall T is regarded as one of the best Western action sequences or fights of all time. And I got to talk to him about that. I got behind the scenes goodies on his fight with Patrick Swayze, which is awesome. So check that out. It's on my audio podcast, which I'm going to restart. I swear to God, I keep saying I'm going to restart the audio podcast as well, which is going to be in collaboration with my video podcast. It's just, I gotta find the time. I so much I want to do and no time to do it. Anyways, and plus my job is going to get worse because things are happening and I like overtime, which is great. Like when you get your check, I guess, unless it'll tax it all. But yeah, so I gotta figure things out. But anyway, going back to Roadhouse 2. So I watched it and I was like, it was okay. The fight was cool. I liked it. The CGI punching, the hits with the CGI, I was like, I noticed it, but I wasn't like, oh my God. I didn't like, some people really raised the stink about the CG. And again, I don't know to enhance things. I'm like, you know what? They did it in the 80s. They did just fine enhancing it with their bodies with practical stunts. I don't know. I wasn't in the boardroom meeting when they talked about that, so whatever the case may be. Then, of course, they announced the sequel. Yes, we all know Roadhouse 2 is coming. Jake Gyllenhaal is going to reprise his role as Edward Dalton, and of course, Conor McGregor, who walked away from the hospital butt naked, and at the end of the first one, is going to be back as well. Oh boy, Conor, he's a good, no qualms about his UFC fighting skills. But boy, I don't think I could be in the same room with the guy for a long period of time because I would just be like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, you never shut up. Anyways, I wouldn't say that to his face though. But yeah, he's going to be back. And then now they announced, and again, this is why I hate doing news articles, because I do a news article, and then if you go back into my news archives, there's a whole mess of news articles that never came to be. And it happens. They announce things are in the development, then something like the pandemic hits, or this hits, the writer strike hits, the actor strike hits, or something happens, and the movie's never made. And then I have all these articles that don't mean shit because it never happened. I actually am going to do an episode of the Action-FLIX podcast where I'm just going to go through all the articles that never happened. I think that would be fun. I think you guys would enjoy going, because I have like over 4,000, I have almost 5,000 articles altogether on my ACTION-FLIX.com website. That's a lot. And probably 40% of it never happened. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Anyway, Guy Ritchie was announced. I was like, oh, wait, we just upped the ante. Guy Ritchie, who's been killing it in action cinema as of late. He did The Covenant with Jake Gyllenhaal. Holy shit, one of my favorite military action movies of all time. Jake crushed it in that movie. Phenomenal, brutal, in-your-face, blunt force trauma action sequences. And then he did Wrath of Man. He did Operation Fortune with Jason Statham. But Wrath of Man is a classic. He did The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Oh my God, so good, so awesome. And I was like, oh, if Guy Ritchie is going to direct Roadhouse 2, this could be better. I mean, not better than the original, but I mean, I could learn to love this movie. Nope, not going to happen. So now we're all disappointed. And I was watching another guy's podcast on YouTube just before I went live, and he was saying the same thing. He's like, now I'm like, I'm like, what are you going to do? All right, so this is from Deadline that I have up here. So we're hearing that Guy Ritchie is no longer directing Amazon MGM Studios' Roadhouse 2, the sequel, of course, to the Jake Gyllenhaal 2024 movie that pulled in, get this, over 50 million viewers on Prime Video and was one of the most watched picks on the OTT service. That number eventually rose to 80 million in the pick's first 8 weeks. So so how they measure success on streaming is different, of course, than the box office. But this thing was a massive hit. And of course, we all knew a sequel was coming. And then we thought Guy Ritchie was going to direct it. No reason was given to why Ritchie unattached himself. Cue the speculation. All right, let me scroll down here now real quick. All right, here we go. Roadhouse 2 remains an important priority for Amazon MGM Studios, and the plan is to keep this production on track to shoot this fall. Well, you better find a director quick. A search for a new director is underway. No, really? Oh, take the weekend off. And sources say casting continues. So there you go. In part 2, Gyllenhaal reprises his role as ex-UFC fighter Dalton from a script by Will Beall, who did Bad Boys Ride or Die. I love Bad Boys Ride or Die. I think it's besides the, I love the second one too. A lot of people don't like the second one, but I thought that was Bayhem at its finest. And the whole ending is like a Spec Ops warrior mission. I thought that was cooler than shit. But I love the action in Bad Boys Ride or Die. I thought they crushed it. The magic was back, and it was a great movie. But now Roadhouse 2 is produced by Atlas Entertainment's Charles Roven and Alex Gardner. Gyllenhaal's 9 Stories Productions with Josh McLaughlin and Ivan Atkinson executive producing. Yep. So that's pretty much it on that one. So now I'm not excited. I'm not excited at all. I don't know what to say. Oh, we got Derpy Entertainment in the house. Sorry, I got distracted here for a little bit. Thanks for joining me on these live sessions. Who else? No, I would have nobody to talk to. He says, Superman is in the building. Not in my building. Is he in your building? Oh, yeah, the box office. LOL. And he says, "What's he say?" He said, "Dude looks like punk rocker." Yes, he does. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. So, thanks for following, button. Thanks for watching my broadcast. So I was excited when Guy Ritchie was attached, which lasted what, a week or so. I mean, it was last week they announced it. And I didn't do an article for it. I was going to do an article for it, but then I got caught up. Oh, by the way, I got caught up yesterday sitting on my computer for a half an hour for an interview that didn't show up. That's one thing. I raced home from work. I was like, my boss was like, "Aren't you going to be late?" And I'm like, "Yes." I raced home, got all situated, and here's me for 30 minutes. Then I texted my PR guy, and they're like, "Oh, that's probably because you gave it to me late." I'm like, "I did not give you the Zoom link late. I gave it to you like 12 hours ahead of time." I've had Zoom links from PR people an hour before the damn interview, and I showed up. I'm like, "Well, I showed up. They did." That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, but boy, was I pissed off because I raced home to do this interview. And you know what? But silver lining yesterday, and I'm going to be putting it out sometime today. I already have my review out for Bang, the new action film with Jack Kesey. We all know him from Hellboy, Crooked Man, as well as RoboCop himself, Peter Weller. I liked it. A lot of people aren't going to like it. It's an indie action movie. It's small scale, but boy, the finale rocks. Jack Kesey's awesome in it. I think he's going to be a new action star. He's done a lot of cool shit. He's done 12 Strong. He's done The Outpost. He did Bruce Willis's Death Wish. He's been in a lot of shit, and he's really, and of course, he took over Hellboy, Crooked Man, which again, a lot of people didn't like. I liked it. Never did a review for it. But in terms of David Harbour's bombastic, I mean, that was just, it was buckets of blood for 2 hours. I thought it was low scale and it brought it back to its horror roots, and I thought it was cool. Anyway, going back to what I was going to say, Jack Kesey, I interviewed him yesterday. I did. So he showed up. Thanks, Jack. And he was a delight to talk to. Boy, he was fun to talk to. So we were talking about the movie, and I told him I was in Panama City Beach, and he was like, "Wow," he's like, he's been here before. Obviously, he's naming off all the beaches and everything. And I'm like, "Yes, I like it myself. You know, it has its moments. Like it's hotter than ape shit right now. But what are you gonna do? I mean, you go outside, you just sweat. It's like sweat everywhere. So, but anyway, he showed up. Thank you, Jack, for showing up and talking to me about the new action thriller, Bang, which comes from Weech Chaos. I call him Chaos because his last name is super long, and I never want to say it. He actually used to go by Chaos. When he directed, way back when, you guys remember Ballistic X vs. Sever, which starred Antonio Banderas and Lucy Liu. I liked it. A lot of people didn't. Flopped at the box office, but it has since become a staple on physical media and streaming and everything. And Ray Park was in it, fought Lucy Liu. I thought that was a great fight. Ray Park got to do some karate shit in it, so that was cool. Anyway, so Weech has been dabbling in action independent cinema for years. He's done Mark Dacascos in The Driver and One Night in Bangkok, all kinds of good stuff. And now he directs Bang, which just came out today on digital and in select theaters. So if you're anywhere in those big cities that show these movies, check it out on a big screen. I checked it out on my big screen. I have a 75. That's as big as my screen is, but it's big. It's pretty big. I do have a projector though, but I just have to set it up. I'm going to have a movie room in this room over here. I'm not going to have a bed, but I'm going to have a movie room. All right. So yeah. So anyway, so I interviewed him. So that's going to be cool. So be on the lookout for that within the day. I just have to put it together. It takes me longer. I just did the interview yesterday. So, all right. Derby says, Roadhouse 2, didn't that movie blow? Okay. It did blow. It did not blow. No. It just wasn't that great. It just wasn't that great. Like I said, I like Jake. I liked his performance. I thought he did a good thing with Dalton, how he kind of like the PTSD kind of thing with the fighting, so I thought that was cool. But then the other characters are throwaway. Billy Magnuson, sorry, he was I was like then of course Conor McGregor, but he was the only good thing about it, really. And then the end fight scene, but there was no fighting. There was like little snippets, just little itty bitty snippets of fighting throughout the movie. And I was like, where's the roadhouse thing? That's what I call it. Where's the roadhousing? All right, before I continue, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we're going to get the 10 years in August. Yes. So this August, next month, is going to be my 10-year anniversary of doing ACTION-FLIX.com, the website, not the podcast. Remember, this is a website. Everybody thinks I just do the podcast. No, this is relation to my website. Go to my website, visit it, click on everything. That way, with the ads that are on it, I actually make some money because I don't. Not really. I would love to, but it is what it is. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go on. We got Superman breaks. It's already breaking records. Snyder Bros got to be pissed about that. But they're just going to sit there and just be like, hey, you all suck anyway. You know, so. But I'm taking heat for it. I don't care. Whatever. You know, what are you going to do? So let me bring this up on the screen. Here we go. All right. Boom. Superman soars to 22 million plus in previews. Best year to date and box office for James Gunn. Higher than Barbie. Yes. Higher than Barbie. Woo woo. Success. So it already broke. I mean, listen, like when movies make like 7, 8, 9, 10 million on a preview night on Thursdays, because we all know Thursdays are preview, because that's the thing they do now. They've been doing it for years where the movie's supposed to come out on Friday, but they come out on Thursday nights. So that way they can suck as much money as they can of us. But take my money with this one, please. Like I said, my review is up. I defend why I love this movie as a Superman fan. A lot of people are criticizing it, but a lot of people are like, listen, it's at like 90-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then 85 or something with the critics. So I'm not the only one. And listen, I haven't read Superman comics my whole life because, again, I got out of comics for life reasons. And then, of course, I was married, and then, but now I have gotten back and I'm starting Absolute Superman, which is he's got long hair, and that's a different take, but it's like, there's all kinds of different iterations of Superman. And this is the Superman that we need. Again, I'm not going to get into, I'm going to save it because next week we can spoil it and I can really talk about it because I don't want to spoil anything. Anyway, so let's talk about this. Updated Friday AM after exclusive. So it's made more money since then. Warner Brothers is saying $22.5 million all in for previews for James Gunn's Superman. Not only is this still the best previews year to date and record for James Gunn, but it's higher than the previous previews for last year's Barbie, which made 22.3 in 3 days at 162 million. Wouldn't that be something if Superman beat Barbie? Oh, that would be great. And not that I haven't seen Barbie. I don't have anything against Barbie. I don't want to see it. And ahead for all the previews for Matt Reeves' The Batman, which made 21.6. So we just edged those movies out. Yes. So I'm listen, with all the good word, and even when somebody bashes it, and it's usually somebody that comes out, and listen, this is not a Superman for everybody. Zack Snyder's Superman was for everybody. I'm going to even say it. Christopher Reeve was a Superman for everybody. Just like Mike Keaton as Batman. Then you had Christian Bale as Batman. Now you got Robert Pattinson as Batman. So. But what David Cornsweet did with, and then the other thing too, and then I got people saying, I've been hearing people saying that Superman doesn't do anything in it. Yeah, he does. He does a lot. But he's not like the ultra, listen, he's not like, this big, okay, he's powerful. He's got the powers. He still has his powers and everything, but it's more, he's not as strong as previous iterations. And I think that makes it better because it's like if Superman comes, like, okay, it's over. Like there was doubt in this Superman movie. I was like, woo, this is getting serious now, like type of thing. So I loved it. I thoroughly could not say enough for it. I did. I liked it a lot. And I gave it a 5 out of 5. And again, I'm going to take shit for that. But I don't care because I defend my reasonings, whether I love it or hate it. And that's why I hate to do reviews in the first place. Reviews are all subjective. It's what that person thinks. One person's trash could be another person's treasure. It's like, it's how, if this Superman didn't relate to you, I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I love Zack Snyder's films. Were they dark? Yes. There's like the Injustice, DC, if you're familiar with that, where Superman goes bad, and Superman was going to go bad, in Zack Snyder's, if he was able to continue, because it was teased and everything. So, but this is the hopeful, spirited Superman. And again, and then people are saying like he needs help. But yeah, well, Superman has had help in the past. Hello, like, don't anybody remember in Batman vs Superman, he had Batman, and then Wonder Woman made that wonderful entrance. Now here he's got Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, and Mr. Terrific out. So yeah, they help. It's okay. Superman, and then they're like, Superman's just bleeding through the whole movie. I mean, he's not bleeding through the whole movie. And again, this is from comics. He's bled in the comics, and he's been beaten up in the comics. So I just don't understand it. Anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. It's breaking records. What do audience think? It's a 78% definite recommend on post-track for general audiences. You can take that to the bank seriously. 5 stars from kids under 12 and parents. Superman is flying around everywhere. So yeah, boom. It's already breaking records. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, it's already like, so I'm going to say it now. When all is said and done, and of course they had the Tuesday previews and everything, so people will be like, "Oh, there's an asterisk because of Tuesday." I'm like, "This, shut up." I think it's gonna make. Will it be Barbie? I think that it's going to do 168 is a number that just jumped in my head. Take it for what you will. I mean, it is what it is. I'm probably wrong, but so. But anyway, I love that it's making bank. I love that people are loving it, because there was so much ridicule for this movie when it was announced. Holy shit. It became exhausting after a while. I was just like, nope. It's just like, God, what are you going to do? Okay, what do we got here? Oh, he says, I did see the remake. I gave it 2 out of 10, maybe. Well, you hated it more than I did. I didn't hate it. I keep saying that to people. I did not hate Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal. I really didn't like it. I have it. I do. I admit it. Because like I got the original on digital, and this one it came with. It was actually cheaper to buy the 2 than just the original Roadhouse. So I was like, okay. So I have it. I have the digital copy, So I've watched it like 3 or 4 times. I have. Like I said, I don't hate it, but it's just like every time I watch it, I think I like it a little bit more. I think I like it way better than when I watched the first time I watched it. Boy, was I pissed. I turned it off. I was like, wow. I was like, I just wasted all my afternoon on that one. And that's when I was on disability, because I had my shoulder thing going on. So I'm like this, and then I was like, I could have like watched, and I always say that, I could have watched something else, but it is what it is. Oh, good Lord. And can I just say, going back to Superman, I love it. I love Crypto. I love their interactions. He's such a great addition to a DC movie. I'm a dog person. I have a dog. His name is Ace. I share custody with my ex. He's bigger than that. He's black and white. He's kind of like a coonhound and pit bull mix. And he's adorable. He's dumb, but I love him. And I have a cat, Tug, who hates him when he comes over because Tug has to go in the room. He's got like his own apartment. Like, it's not like, because they don't get along. So I got to put Tug in the other room, and that's where he hangs out for when Ace is here. And Ace only stays like 2, 3, 4 days, I think, is as long as then he goes back to his mom's. And so we go back. So it's like Bailey. He comes back and forth. Although I haven't had him in a while. I'm going to have to get him back here soon and pet him, and he's so lovable. I'll show you a picture. You've seen him be like, if you watch some of my older videos, he made an appearance in one of my. I was interviewing Daniel Bernhardt way back when I lived in New Hampshire, and Dan Bernhardt, go get him, let me see him. And so I went out, and he was in the bedroom. I brought him out, and they're like, here he is. So yeah, so Ace made an appearance in my Daniel Bernhardt movie interview. Like, isn't that funny, everybody? I thought it was. I thought it was a nice moment. Daniel Bernhardt's a cool guy. Hopefully I can interview him for Deathstalker. That would be super cool. And of course, he was in Ballerina. He fought Ana de Armas and lost again. But that's okay, because he's supposed to lose. That's what happens. All right, so now, yeah, there we go. There's a good one to open up with. There's my review of Bang. Yeah, my review of Bang. And the title: Jack Kesey's bad to the bone in the latest assassin action that bleeds bullets, bravado, and brutal attitude. I gotta say, I'm a good writer. I'm a good writer. I have skills. I, in high school, wrote essays and term papers the day before they were due and got A pluses. I'm not gonna lie. And they were like, "You must have spent so much time on this," and I was like, "Yes, I did." All 2 hours of it last night at my kitchen table. I don't know how I was always like, my mom yells at me to this day, why didn't you do any? I'm doing a website now. I do make some money from it, not a lot, but yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, so let's get to the next one I'm talking about here, and there he is right there. I'm gonna click on him. Yeah, baby. Quote Mike Myers from Austin Powers. Daniel Bernhardt. Look at him go. And he's fighting. Wow, look at that dude. He looks super awesome. All right, so anyway, Daniel Bernhardt's Deathstalker reboot announces world premiere and new images. Yes. Daniel Bernhardt, who we just talked about because we were talking about him in Ballerina and stuff, is in the new Deathstalker reboot, which, yes, that's kind of like a redundant, but that's besides the point. All right, let me get into it on my iPad here so I can talk to you about it. All right, so this was announced a few years ago. Big crowdfunding campaign, and actually some of my friends over at the Action League helped funded it, and they're actually going to go to the when it premieres in Canada. But this isn't the one we're talking about. So this is kind of a bummer, though. But we get new images. Yes. So Deathstalker comes from a filmmaker, Steven Kostanski, who did Psycho Gorman, which I have not seen. I actually don't think I've seen any of this man's work. But he's a rising star because people say Psycho Gorman is awesome. And I saw the trailer. I just, I want to watch a lot of movies. I just don't have time. But anyway, for all you not to know, Deathstalker is a product of the late, great Roger Corman, who produced all the wonderful direct-to-video movies and schlock that, so good. And I don't say schlock in a bad way. I say schlock in the most endearing way possible. But back in the day, like when Conan the Barbarian came out with Arnold Schwarzenegger, there's a lot of sword and sorcery epics, Sword and the Sorcerer, and all kinds of Italian films did it. But every time you turn around, there was somebody with a sword, either a scantily clad lady or man, swinging a sword somewhere. So he created the Deathstalker franchise, which starred Rick Hill. And he was an actor. I think he's still around today. And he did the first one and the fourth one. And John Terlasky did the second one. Actually, John Terlasky he directs TV shows and stuff like that. So a lot of times I'm watching TV shows. He directed them. So he's gone on to a great career. So actually, Deathstalker came out, and then Deathstalker 2, Duel of the Titans, Deathstalker and the Warriors from Hell, and then Deathstalker 4, Match of the Titans, which brought back Rick Hill. And again, when you watch him, you pretty much know what you're getting into. You do, because it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, so we got all these wonderful images from the official sites. So let me talk first about where it's premiering. Hang on a second. Okay, hang on. I'll get there. Okay, so here we go. So the film is going to make its premiere at the prestigious Locarno Film Festival in Switzerland. Yep, Switzerland. Sorry. On August 15th. So that's next month. Sorry. That's what they said. So if you're in Switzerland by chance, check it out. I mean, somebody might be traveling to Switzerland, although I wouldn't leave the country now because you might not get in. I might be like, you have Polish ancestry in your heritage. You're an immigrant. I'm like, the country was made from immigrants, dumbass. That's all I'm going to say on that. But anyway, so it's premiering the 15th of August at the prestigious Locarno Film Festival. So we have a little bit of a wait before we get to actually see it. So here's the pictures. There he is in all of his awesome glory. Still, listen, age is just a number to some of these guys, and Daniel Bernhardt is another one. Still in phenomenal shape, still kicking ass, still looking just as amazing as he did back in the day. So yeah, there he is. And now let me go through and I'm going to show you some of these are from the Lacorna Film Festival official site. So that's where I'm sharing them from. So let me just give them the props. So this is where it comes from. And then that's a cool one. Look at him stabbing some demon looking dudes. Yeah, that looks sweet. And then there he is. That's the one I did for my thumbnail where he's fighting the mummy looking dude with a rather large shuriken. I don't know, whatever that is. There he is with Pigman. Gotta love it. And there he is with the, looks like a little, actually looks like Gwildor from Masters of the Universe. And if you know what I mean, then if you know, you know. All right. So, yeah. So this is coming soon. So August 15th in Switzerland, unfortunately, nowhere near where we're at. Like I said, though, if you're traveling to Switzerland next month and you're going to be in that vicinity, go check it out. Tell me how it is. So I'm hoping that they keep the same tongue-in-cheek vibe with the first one was a little bit more serious, but then the second one was goofy. And then, so it kind of went flip-flop back and forth towards the tone. I want serious, but with some humor. I don't want it totally over the top like the second one was. I want to see Daniel Bernhardt kicking ass, doing martial arts, swinging swords, and all kinds of shit. So, okay. I don't know who this person is, but they sent me a little alligator or something. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Appreciate it. All right. So there you go. All right. That's pretty much what I had for today. So we got Superman breaking records. We got Guy Ritchie. Damn it all to hell. Exiting the. Listen, I was excited. I am bummed. I sit before you today a bummed man because I had gotten excited. I was like, listen, if Guy Ritchie is going to direct this, there's hope that this one will definitely outdo the first one, but to no avail. Sorry. What are you going to do? Like I said, I'm sure they're going to find, they got to find somebody quick because they want to start shooting in the fall. They don't want to miss out on the opportunity. But whoever they get, let's hope. Hey, get a stunt guy. Is Sam Hargrave doing anything right now? Hey, get Jesse V. Johnson, man. Get him to direct Roadhouse 2. I would watch the shit out of that. William Kaufman, get him to direct Roadhouse 2. Listen, these guys kill it in the indie market. Give them some money. There you go. Listen, you heard it here. Give these indie action guys like the money and that, because we see what they can do when they have no money and no time to make their movie. They have like 2 or 3 weeks to make a movie with like $50,000. I'm sorry, they have more than that sometimes. But it's just like, give one of these guys money and have them go direct Roadhouse 2. I'm sure they'll get the assignment, and I'm sure they'll turn something in that I'll probably want to own. But I own the first one, the remake, because it came with the original. So I have it on Vinegar Syndrome, and then of course because I sometimes you just want to not break out the. I don't know who this person is, but they keep sending me little gifts or little emojis. Thanks, you're watching. Anyways. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Okay, so that's let me just talk about a few more things here. Let me bring up a couple things. Oh yeah, I also did I finally put up it was up on Wednesday morning. Yes. If you remember, I came out of the theater on Tuesday night. I was going to race home, do an out of theater reaction to Superman, and life got in the way. My glasses broke. That was one thing. Then something else happened. I'm not going to get into specifics, but I just got pissed off and I was like, you know what? This isn't happening. By the time it was midnight, nobody's up anyways. So I did it the following morning. So technically it wasn't out of theater, but I still kept the title. I'm like, I'm not changing it. But that's up now. I finally put it up on the website. It's been up on my YouTube channel since Wednesday, where I talk no spoilers about Superman. It's hard to talk about it and defend it. I mean, I defended it as to why I loved it the best I could without giving anything away. And there's certain things, like I didn't know one thing wasn't a spoiler, that it was already announced, but I'm still not going to say it because I don't know who knows and who doesn't know. But like I said, next week, all bets are off, baby. If you haven't seen the movie by then don't watch the stream because I am going to crush it and talk about all that comes with it, and it'll be more fun to talk about it with the spoilers. My opinion. Okay, they're asking me my opinion on Moana 2. I liked it. I liked it. I watched it with my daughter. I didn't have a problem with it. Was it as good as the first one? No, but my daughter liked it. I liked it. I liked watching it with my daughter. I mean, I do like watching. I love all kinds of movies. Like, that's the other thing. We always joke about it with my buddies at the Action League. We watch everything. I just don't do action movies, but it's my first love. It's what I watch the most. So yeah. So yeah, I like Moana too. I love Stitch, the live action Lilo Stitch. Did I love it as much as the original one? No. There were things I didn't like about it. Bailey hated Jumba. she made it known that she did not like Jumba. Okay, I'm not okay. So we're done with that. So yeah, so I liked it. I enjoyed it. Yep. But here we go. What I wanted to get to. So Baby Assassins 3 has a new trailer from Will Go USA. Put that up on the site yesterday. My trailer, the Bang with Jack Kesey. I'm gonna put up his interview. I interviewed Jack. Great guy, awesome to talk to. Did a phenomenal job. Oh, Under Fire. This looks good. Now, this stars Dylan Sprouse and Mason Good. And Dylan Sprouse did Aftermath, which came out last year. That's the one where he's the ex-soldier who gets stuck on the bridge when terrorists take it over. It's kind of like Die Hard on a bridge. Low scale, no big set pieces, but still good action. And he was great in it. Well, he did. Let me get into it. Hang on. Let me get back to it. There it is. Him and Mason Gooding, who was in Hard Eyes, that it was like it did phenomenal business. It was that Valentine's movie. It was a horror movie, but with comedy in it. So anyway, these two guys did this movie called Under Fire, where they both play undercover agents. One, I think, for the FBI, one for the DEA, and they're undercover, and but they don't know they're undercover. They're interacting with each other, but they don't know, like, one thinks the other's bad. I think the other thinks the other's bad, but it turns out they're both undercover agents, and it comes to head. And then there's a sniper that's taking shots at them, but it's got that 80s, 90s retro buddy action vibe, like Lethal Weapon, Tango and Cash, that kind of thing. They look pretty great in it. And this looks like it's directed by Stephen C. Miller, who did a lot of the later Bruce Willis movies before he sadly had to retire because of his condition. Yeah, so this looks like a lot of fun. So I might do a trailer tactical, but I'm definitely gonna do a trailer tactical for Red Sonja, because that looks like that kicks a whole lot of ass. Yep, it does. Oh my gosh, when I watched that trailer, I was like, ooh, I might enjoy this one. So there you go. All right. So that's what I got for today. Boom. So again, don't forget, this helps, to like and subscribe. If you like what you see, if you like my content, I got other things on the YouTube channel, all kinds of shows. I got trailers. I got all kinds of exclusive interviews. That's where I put all my exclusive interviews and everything. So, yeah. So, like, if you like what you see, like and subscribe. So hit that button, like it, notifications, turn them on, so that way you get notified when I go live or I post a video or something. And subscribe, or tell your friends. I'm almost at 1,600. Super excited, getting up to that 2,000 mark, slowly but surely. But I got a fan base, so I can't complain. And then I just got told today by somebody in the action cinema industry that I am influential. So there you go. Hey, boom, there you go. So if somebody in the industry saying it, and again, that's not me tooting my own horn. I've had multiple people, and I will say this. I'm not going to say who. I'm not going to, because I don't want to jinx it, but a major action star privately messaged me and offered me a big time interview, and that's going to happen sometime within the next couple months. I'm not going to say who, but I almost fell over. I was like, they're like, would you be interested? And I'm like, yeah, I would. So I almost fell over. So I'm not going to say anything more about that, but super excited. Super excited. All right. So again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Help me out. Again, 10-year anniversary for ACTION-FLIX.com. Check out the website. That's this one that you see right here that I keep popping up. That's my website. I love my website now. I really, really do. It's nice. It's easy. It's fan friendly. I got a lot of good responses to it since I put it on. I think it's been about a month since I put it. Excuse me. But a lot of people love it. This is actually a video game website template. So I just used it, and I like how it's animated. Like, you know, like the front page, you got the stories moving and everything, and super excited. Love it. Love what I'm doing. I just did another weekly until this is episode 3. This is monumental. You got to remember, because it's been a long time since, you know, I've gone months without doing any podcasts or anything, but now I'm officially back. I got good things coming. Like I said, hopefully every week I'm going to be doing a live stream, and that's where the weekly intel is going to come to pass, and all kinds of other cool shit that I'm going to be recording. So make sure you check it out. So until further ado, this is John with ActionFlix.com and the ActionFlix podcast, signing off, telling you everybody to be nice until it's time to not be nice. Later, guys.